Hey guys, this is completely fucking the most insane thing I've seen in my life. Okay, so I was in the store, walking in the back, and asked them where the water was. They're like at the front, so I walk to the front. As I turn the corner, I see a cop with his back turned away from me. So I'd been hiding in the bushes at the hotel, and I'm an idiot. I should have not gone to the store because the security guard saw me run straight for the store before I disappeared around the corner. So when I saw him, I ran to the back of the store and I thought maybe the employee way through the back was just a straight shot. But when I ran back there, it was an emergency exit. So I'm like, shit, and the workers there were confused as hell. They're like, hey, sir, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, sorry. I turn around and I start running to the side of the store and there's no open door. Everything is at the front. So I was like, fuck it. I ran, hit the emergency door, and all the freaking buzzers, all the alarms went off in the store. And the fence is high as hell. It's like, 15-foot fence. So I just went up that mother like no other. But as I was running away, I realized that my phone dropped. Obviously the phone I'm holding right now dropped out of my pocket, but by that time I was so panicked that I just ran straight into the bushes, and I was like, shit, they're gonna find it. Anyways, for that part, that's what happened. Is I ended up I finally recovered it. I'm lucky as hell, alhamdulillah. This is impossible. I don't know how they didn't just go back to where I escaped from and looked around on the ground. It seemed like they were so focused on the ground. So anyways, what happened? You're not going to believe the story. So I ran here into these bushes here. And anyways, I'm all cut up. So I'm just going to take the light off and focus on. So I ran straight into the bushes. I was like, screw the camera. The biggest thing is just for me to escape. Even though, truthfully, I could have probably scaled the wall, grabbed it, and came back, because like the cops they don't have enough time. And like I said, I have enough confidence that I could, because I just demonstrated I could outrun a guy on a bike and a cop. You just have to have, you got to have certain physical things, and then obviously like the brain power to know how to use it. So I ran through this grass. All of a sudden I see a fence after I go through all these bushes. So I scale the fence, and all of a sudden, like I don't feel the ground on the other side. So I'm just grabbing bushes, because I'm like, okay, it's going to be like a tall fence, like a 15-footer. No, I fell down fucking 30 feet. 30 fucking feet. Straight into, alhamdulillah, I fell straight into a pile of, like, I went along the trees, but I swear, I was in the air for 2 seconds. I fell just, a bunch of branches cracked, and I fell pretty good. Alhamdulillah, nothing hurt. Just my elbow that I had surgery on is a little bit sore, but I'm having that looked at next week. So whatever issue there is, it's going to be looked at. So no worries. So anyways, after the fall, I just kept running through the bushes. I just wanted to put as much distance as I could. Finally, I started like going to the side, because I figured it was a tall brick wall that just dropped straight down. So I figured if I followed the brick wall, it's going to eventually get shorter. Like, it can't go forever. Well, in the process of doing that, I saw a big hole, and it was a storm drain. So I'm like, okay, this is a better idea. It's going to take me somewhere. So I followed the storm drain, and every like couple 100 feet, there was stairs to go up to a manhole. But I figured that's not a smart idea, and plus those covers are really heavy. Like, they take them off from the top. They're meant more like to climb down, and then when you climb back up, they're still open, and then you close it when you're on top. So anyways, I kept following the storm drain, and like a half mile later, I ended up on the complete other side of the street from the store. So the tunnel went under the store, under the parking lot, under the road in front of the store that I ran across, and on the other side with a bunch of bushes, just like what you saw. So I'm like, I look across and I just see like so many cop cars. Just every goddamn cop car out front. And eventually later I heard a dog. But the thing is, they were all focused in the front of the store or looking towards the back where I'd run from. Like, it obviously, for them, they were like, okay, this guy definitely ran back. You know? So it was just kind of funny watching them with their back face looking to where I had gone. And I was like, for sure, they have my phone guaranteed. But the funny thing is, I never saw them go back to where I jumped. You know, I jumped like where the garden center is. You know how in Kmart, off to the side, they have like a garden center with the tall fence? That's what it was. But I'd never saw them go there. They just hung out front. So anyways, I was across the street, and I told myself, okay, I have to circle back and at least try to see if my phone is there. I had no expectations. So I start walking away from the store through the grass, and then I had to cross the street. So I went far enough that there wasn't much activity, sprinted across the street, got into the bushes. I'll show you the bushes over there where that stoplight is. So I went, I don't know, like, luckily I have like enough orientation skills to have walked in a perfect path. And the funny thing is, I found a 4-pack of Mountain Dew, so I chugged 2 of them because I hadn't had, you know, food or liquid in forever, and I really needed that sugar boost. So that was kind of funny. I found them in the forest, a cold 4-pack. It was almost like meant to be. So I went, and I ended up like I saw like a little homeless camp. So I'm like, okay, I'm on the right track here. And what do you know? Perfectly to where I was gonna be. And then I just circled around this side, and then I went, you know, I jogged along the fence, and holy crap, I found this guy laying on the ground on the side of the fence that on the other side of the fence from the store. Alhamdulillah. So now what I'm going to do is I got to backtrack, which is easier because I know. So I'm going to backtrack that way, go through those bushes, across the street far there, and then continue through this tall grass, or I think so. Well, the good thing now is I have Google Maps, so maybe that's not the best route, but this is the most insane story, man. Alright, inshallah, I'll talk to you guys later.